We back with another one. Early morning grind. Let's enter that boxing clinic talk. This your boy CJ Goodfella. And let's talk about potential doubleheader that's in the works according to Boxing Scene. I'll link the article in the description. It looks like, let's start off with Austin Trout versus Jerrett for the IBF belt. It looked like it was a strategic move for them to move that fight off of July 29th, Brooklyn. Barclays Center card featuring Adrian Broner and Mikey Garcia. They pushed it back to September 30th. I still don't know if it was an injury or what. I don't think it was. I think they wanted to link these two doubleheaders together and feature two junior middleweight world championship bouts and potentially have those guys fight next later on in the year or at the top of 2018. It's a good marketing strategy. They say it's going to be a doubleheader, perhaps a triple header. They can probably fit somebody else on there. Maybe Lara or somebody else like that. You might even get David Benavidez versus Anthony Durrell on this card for the simple fact that they're not gonna fight on September 9th. Benavidez's manager said it's definitely not happening on that day. We know it's not happening the week after that because that's Mayweather McGregor. And the week after that, it probably won't happen as well. So September 30th, you might get Durrell and David Benavidez on this card. This doesn't have it doesn't have a venue yet. Neither one of these guys, but the more shocking thing about this is the fact that they're letting Erickson Lubin. If this happens, they're letting Erickson Lubin step up to fight Jermell Charlo, the junior middleweight Charlo, for a world title belt, and he's the number one contender for the belt. But he's never went 10 rounds though. They have enough belief in this kid to put him in with Jermell Charlo. Al Heyman's going to let him fight Jermell Charlo. And I just think it's a mistake. I understand he's 21 years old. He's been pro since he was 18 years old. But it's just a mistake for him. I'm not saying that he can't win. I just think it's too early. I mean, he hasn't even went 10 rounds. He hasn't fought. He hasn't fought anybody, with a solid reputation at junior middleweight, in my opinion. I don't know how many guys are out there. But, I haven't looked at the rankings. I mean, Diego Chavez I think he's playing around 154. That'd have been a solid fight for him. I mean, even putting him in there with a Tony Harrison, I don't know if he's ready to come back after the knockout. Willie Nelson, putting him in somebody like that first. Even a Jack Colclough, somebody like that first to that's durable and that can take him around. I was impressed by what he did with Jorge Cota. But I don't think it was good enough. I think Cota was coming off a layoff, even though he was awkward. But he hasn't been tested. And to put him on a world championship level right now, I think it's suicidal. They setting this kid up for failure. I understand that he's a good fighter and all those things. And he can win this fight, but I just think it's too early. But that's what makes boxing great. He has belief in himself. He wants to test himself. He wants to show that he's world championship level material, and he's not afraid to lose his O. And we need more of that in boxing. And I'm all for him jumping into this fight. I'm just talking back from a handler standpoint. But he's been doing it. Let him go in there with Charlo, see what he can do. I think it's even if this is just a doubleheader, this is an excellent card. And I think both challengers have a real shot to win. I wouldn't call neither one of these fights 50-50, but I think they have both challengers have a good chance to win. Jermell Charlo seems like he's meshing with Derrick James pretty nicely now. After having a hiccup with John Jackson, he switched to Derrick James after the Vanes Mazarosian fight. He wanted to get more offensive, and you could tell they're starting to mesh now. He's starting to become more offensive. He's starting to plant more. And a lot of people didn't follow this Charlo's career. No, neither one of them Charlo's career early on. And Jermell was the boxer mover with a good defense, and he was outboxing guys. Now, he's adding the offensive firepower to his repertoire, and he's looking good now. And I think he's ready to peak out. Not peak out, but he's ready to peak. I think he's really on peak, right now as far as his camaraderie with Derrick James. They understanding what they're doing. Both of them understand the language they speaking. Now they putting in the work in for Trout. I think Trout has a good chance of upsetting Jarrett Hurd. Took some time off. He'd have been in with a way better competition, experience level. I think he's the better boxer mover in this fight. But Hurd has to show that he can cut the ring off and he can try to show that he has some feet and not just be a big, towering, strong super welterweight or junior middleweight, because that's not going to win fights versus Andrade and Charlo and Lubin, because they are big, strong junior middleweights as well. He got to show some versatility in this game, being able to box, move, cut the ring off, slips, dips, slide, and show some of that, that swiftness that I know he has. So it's two good cards, potentially September 30th.